Hello, my name is Trey Mozagemba. I am the cClear product manager for cPacket. And today we wanted to do a quick overview of the new PCAP download page, which has been redesigned in cClear 25.2. And so that includes cClear 25.2.0 and any newer versions. And so with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into the demo. In cClear 25.2, we rebuilt the capture page from the ground up and renamed it Download PCAP. We know that capture is central to how folks work, which is why it deserved cPacket rethinking the layout and cleaning up some small inconsistencies which existed before. So let's get through what's new with the Download PCAP page. As far as the overall flow of the page, it remains largely the same. You start with selecting your C-stores up top. You then get into specifying the time range that you want to look for. And then through the use of our apply filters and advanced options sections, you refine the actual packets that you want to see in your PCAP download. And then lastly, at the bottom of the page, we have our download button. So defaults are set as you come into this page automatically. So if you just want to do a quick capture, you can just go ahead and click the download button and you're done. But assuming that you need more precision or you want to be more specific as far as what you're filtering, every control is right here. And we will get into all of these changes in just a moment. So going back to the top of the page, let's start with the Select C-Stores panel. So the first thing you'll notice is that we have 10 of these C-stores which are pre-selected. And you can see as designated by this green link icon here that all of these C-store appliances are online. If I scroll to the bottom of this list, you'll see we have two C-stores in this case, which are grayed out. And what that represents is that these C-store appliances are offline. So you're still able to see all of your appliances in one list, but you can quickly glance and see that some of these appliances are offline, and obviously we won't be able to pull data from them. Now, if you're running a large estate like I am here with 10 different C-stores, we have a new search and filter bar area, which is really useful. So starting with search, we can quickly type in something such as Sapphire, and you'll see that the list is automatically reduced. So just making it easier to navigate when you have many C-store appliances, and then through the use of status with connected or disconnected, associated network monitors with whatever network monitors you specified, and then lastly, device type, as in the C-store model that you're looking to actually filter on. All of that is now available at the top of the page. So it's a lot easier to now see what you're able to select, and then also to get deeper down in terms of search and filtering capability to find the C-stores that you're looking for. There's a selection counter here, like I mentioned before. So you can see that if I deselect a few of these, the selection counter here changes. And then there's also this show selected button. So if I select this, you'll see that there's only the 6 C-stores that I've selected, which present here. And lastly, I'll clear this really quickly. If you need to search by per port selection, so some of these C-stores, as designated by the blue arrow on the right, support per port PCAP downloads. So in this case, if you only care about traffic on 1 or 2 of the interfaces and not necessarily all of them, you can specify just a specific port, and you won't have to sort everything out later once you download the PCAP. So this is only supported on certain C-store appliances, but again, we do offer that capability here now in the list, and it's easier than ever to easily select which port you're looking to designate on your C-store. So next is to define the time range, which I'll put at the top of the page here. So we have 3 distinct options that we now offer. We have relative to a specific time, relative to the moment of download, and between 2 specific times. And I'll explain what each of those means. So starting with the default selection, which is relative to a specific time, this allows you to pick a reference point and then add an offset before or after. And so you can see if I click the minus button here, I'm able to do minus or plus 5 seconds. This is great when you know roughly when an event happened, although maybe not exactly, and you can modify the number of seconds here, obviously. The second option that we have is relative to the moment of download. And so for existing users, this is what was previously called now. We've just renamed it to be a little bit more clear. It now captures a window leading up to when you press the download button, again, minus the 5 seconds here by default, and then you're able to change this setting as well. And lastly, the final setting here is between two specific times. So this is when you have a hard start date and a hard end date. This is when you know there was a particular incident or perhaps a scheduled maintenance window, and then you can be very specific with your time range there. So we encourage folks to pick the time mode which best matches how you're thinking about the problem or best matches your particular use case. Next, let's move on to apply filters. So with apply filters, the filtering behavior largely remains the same. We've just improved the UI, so I'll walk through what those changes look like. At the top of the page, we have the ability to select either fast filtering or BPF filtering. So I'll start with explaining fast filtering. So we do have a checkbox here at the top for bidirectional filtering. So you can either select whether that's enabled or disabled. And then I've populated some sample data values here, but this is including things like source and destination IP, including ports for each, and then also outer and inner VLANs. We also have the ability to include a CView NG port filter if you do have a CView NG appliance, which is required for that particular feature. And then moving on to BPF filtering. So I won't get into in this demonstration how to write a BPF filter, but we do have some BPF examples. If you select this button here, that'll walk you through how to create your own BPF filter, and also using AI is a great way to create a custom BPF filter. So I'll go back to fast filtering here. And even though the options I entered have been removed, we can continue on for the purposes of this demo. And lastly, in our advanced options, we have things, we have three distinct groups now. We have set download size, select packet format, and use timestamp options. So beginning with set download size, we have two radio buttons for either no limit, or you could set a max download size. So here you can change the actual numeric value of either megabytes, gigabytes, or terabytes, and defining the max packet size that you're downloading there, or max PCAP size rather. For select packet format, we have the ability to do full packet capture, mass packets and headers only, or headers only. And depending on the payload size concerns for various PCAPs, and then also different security and compliance use cases, you can imagine using these different options here. And lastly, for the timestamp options, we have use hardware timestamps for higher precision if you have devices that support this feature, and then also the ability to remove the packet trailer metadata if you'd only like the original packet data. One additional thing worth calling out on this page is the conditional features are still visible even when you can't select them. So in this case, I have selected devices which support all these things, but things like CView NG port filter, for example, or use hardware timestamp, even if you're not able to select them based on your CStore selection criteria, you'll still be able to see that these features remain here, and you'll see a little tooltip that also gives you more information. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and hit the download button at the bottom left here, and you'll see that the PCAP download will initiate. And there we go. And we also have this view active downloads panel here, and you can see what's actually going on with your active downloads. But the PCAP has been successfully downloaded, and we can validate it in Wireshark. So there we go. Here's the PCAP that we just pulled down. In this case, I selected it based on the last 5 seconds. So here you go. So that's an overview of the new cClear PCAP download page, where we've included a more scannable layout, robust filtering for large estates, flexible time range modes, and per port precision where you need it. So please upgrade to 25.2. We'd be glad to support you in that upgrade effort. So please reach out to your cPacket representative for more information. And as always, the latest cClear download is available on the cPacket My Support portal. Thanks for taking the time to watch this, and have a great rest of your day.